Manchester City 2-0 Brentford, Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez score. There were spells of this when Manchester City seemed a bit drowsy. Passive, even. It is not often that can be levelled at them. Memories of this victory will be a little hazy in the fullness of time, not a classic, but another victory it was, and while they continue to rack those up, the title is only heading in one direction. The champagne, or more specifically the vodka Red Bulls, are on ice. City have not dropped points in consecutive matches since December 2020. 50 games now. And they'll drink to that around here. Liverpool have 2 games to play, then we'll see the gap. We have 14 games to play, many points to play for and more tough games like today, Pep Guardiola warned. We have to qualify for the Champions League, then win the Premier League. Eat, rest, train. By the 69th minute, Kevin De Bruyne had finished it off. Jack Grealish had just entered the pitch, serenaded from the stands about having a few jars, and was part of the pressing contingent that forced Brentford into ceding possession and led to De Bruyne sweeping home. With it, City went 12 points clear of Liverpool on a night that could have been all about Grealish. When the topic of that punter's intrepid camerawork outside Albert's Schloss and whether City's small group were turned away or decided to wander off from the crowded bar reared its head, Guardiola had been ready. As he does, the quipping was sharp and somewhat self-deprecating. He flippantly moaned that they had not invited him for what he then described as a sober dinner. Nailing both points, this was all a bit silly, and none of them, Grealish, Kyle Walker and Riyad Mahrez, had done anything wrong anyway. Case closed in Guardiola's eyes, although even if the players had downed a few scoops the evening before a day off, it would hardly be worthy of forensics. The bigger crime might actually have been that City's threesome, also joined by kit man ally Marland, shunned the trendier part of town barely a 10-minute walk away. Yet when Grealish is one of those filmed, to the backdrop of previous incidents, one of which occurred only a matter of weeks ago at the same establishment, then it takes on additional meaning for some. Last night, the easy thing for Guardiola would have been to start him after publicly backing him, but then Guardiola never really does things the easy way and, more pertinently, is not a man who cares what we may think. Grealish arrived 2 minutes before the game was sewn up. Before then, City had complete control, while also not appearing quite themselves. Brentford cleverly narrowed the pitch. Patience was required and beginning to wear thin before City broke through 5 minutes shy of the break. Raheem Sterling beavered on the left, causing Mads Roerslev one problem too many when he charged for the byline, the defender's lunge clipping his foot. Riyad Mahrez sent David Raya the wrong way, the 7th consecutive club game in which he has found the net. Brentford went from back to front with pace and caused issues. The club's analysts sat in the Colin Bell stand, thumped their desks after Sergi Canos crossed straight into Ederson's arms when the hosts were outnumbered on the break. Here, those moments need converting. The same can be said of Rico Henry's opportunity moments after Mahrez's penalty. John Stones lost his footing and Henry sprung, set clear via 1-2, only for Ederson to thwart him. City had seen Phil Foden, Aymeric Laporte, Sterling, and Joao Cancelo all miss the target from presentable positions. The latters came after Raya had clawed away from Sterling, who had been ready to tap in Mahrez's cross. Raya's comeback from injury, this being his first league appearance since October, should serve as a fillip for Thomas Frank, whose side are now eyeballing a relegation scrap. Like so many promoted teams before them, a chilling run of winter defeats has sucked them in. If we keep putting these performances in, I'm convinced it will turn around, Frank said. The only way they got goals were mistakes by us. 2 big mistakes. The second came as Raya gifted the ball to Sterling, redeeming himself by thwarting the forward, only for De Bruyne to pounce. City are the best team in the world, the Brentford boss added. Guardiola flatly disagreed, pointing at champions of Europe and South America, Chelsea and Palmeiras. That debate waits for another day. We'll find out if City are or not by the end of the season. Moyes defends decision to pick Zouma, but says behavior disappointing. All Liverpool players are high quality. Manager Jurgen Klopp. Chelsea train ahead of Club World Cup semi-final in Abu Dhabi. 32 Winter Olympians in Beijing isolating after positive COVID tests. Arteta grateful for Aubameyang's service following abrupt departure. Senegal holds victory parade after Africa Cup of Nations win. That's his opinion. Arteta responds to Aubameyang criticism. Claims hilarious moment. BBC presenter slips down a dry ski slope on live TV. Doorcam captures Uber Eats driver scratching their crotch on camera. Husband tells his wife to end the marriage and rant on couples therapy. Final glimpse of SpaceX before colliding with Moon on March 4. Deep Space Telescope records rocket before collision with Moon.